Welcome to RUSD Bridge. I'm Syeda Jafri, and in this episode, we have Kyla Montano. She is a fifth grade student at Trapp Elementary School, the California Distinguished School in Rialto Unified School District. And we also have Mrs. Berenice Gutierrez, the proud principal of Trapp Timberwolves. Let's get started with our interview. First of all, hello, young lady. You look absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Did you do this all by yourself? Do you wake up like this?
No.
No? Your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. How is distance learning going for you, Kayla?
It's going good, but sometimes it's kind of hard to get my work in on time, or sometimes my computer has some difficulties. But I like it because I still can keep in touch with my teachers and my classmates.
Now, you're in fifth grade at Trapp Elementary School. Who is your teacher?
Miss Botello, and she has a co-teacher, Miss Humble.
Okay, so Miss Botello, Miss Humble teach you guys, and all of the students are on the screen, right? So you get to see your classmates. Do you engage sometimes with them too?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Now, what are you learning? Reading, math? What are the classes that you're learning in distance learning?
We're learning about.
It's okay. It doesn't have to be specific. You could just tell me, like, reading. Is it reading? Are you doing some reading?
Yeah, we're learning about reading and about how we're reviewing how to subtract fractions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. So some of it's like, okay, it's work, like in a classroom, but you're not in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back with you, Kayla. Don't you go anywhere. Mrs. Gutierrez, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And I know that Kayla was to be one of the speakers this year when Trapp Elementary School earned its California Distinguished School for the second time in a row. Tell me a little bit about the feeling with your staff. Obviously, there's a lot of celebrations due to the pandemic and no fault of the district or the nation of its own. How do you feel about some of the stuff that kind of went in the wayside?
Absolutely, and we did. We had everything planned out. We were supposed to have our big celebration on April 10th. As a team, as a leadership team, we came together and planned it all out, and our teachers, were just excited about what we're going to do. We're going to have Mrs. Chovan, which we met earlier today, and she was going to be our teacher speaker. We had a parent who was going to speak, and we had also our student. And I have to say that when it came to selecting the student, it didn't take very much time to decide who was going to be. When we brought it up
You don't say.
When we brought it up to the leadership team, who would be a good student to have? And everybody was like, hands down, Kayla Montano should be the one to speak. And it was just because she's got such great energy and she's such an amazing student. So
she does have a lot of personality.
She absolutely does.
And she agrees.
Yeah, she does. And, she's a friend to all. I have to say, she's definitely the whole package when it comes to she's smart, she's talented, she's friendly to kids. She just radiates good energy.
She's a good Timberwolf.
Yes,
so,
she is.
Kayla, I have to ask you, what were you involved in with Trapp? Did you do anything outside of classroom?
Yes, I was involved in the garden club last year.
What is the garden club?
We have this big garden towards the back of the school, and we plant lettuce and tomatoes,
Nice.
and we even have peas, and it's amazing.
Have you
I
tasted
loved
any
it.
of the vegetables, or?
Yeah, at first I didn't like peas, but then the first time they said, "Oh, here, everyone try a piece." I fell in love with them.
It's because they were organic.
Yes, she fell in love with the peas. I love it. So that's the garden club. Is there any other clubs that you're involved in?
Yes, this year I am in the drumline club,
Oh,
running club, and I am also in the gate enrichment.
of course. Now, talk to me about the running club. Do you guys just kind of run after school, or how does that work?
Sometimes we would be invited to some races. Like we did the run around the rocks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The city of Rialto put that on.
and
Yes.
and we would usually do them before school. And
Do you like
and
running?
Yeah, I do. And I feel like it's better for me because I am also in soccer. And I feel like it would help me a lot. That's why I joined.
Okay,
Yeah.
and now you love playing soccer.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite soccer player?
I'm a goalkeeper, so
Oh, wow.
my favorite goalkeeper is Hope Solo.
Hope
Yeah.
Solo. Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Look at her. She knows her stuff. Well, thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that. I want to just ask your principal a couple more questions. We got from the students' perspective, and I know we've had Miss Chauvin, third grade teacher, on our show as well for Rialto Bridge, talking a little bit about distance learning, how it went for students. How do you deal with it as a principal? Because I know you're busy at home as well, but you have to still lead your school, still make sure the students are fulfilling their needs of quality education. How is all of that working with you?
You know, it's a lot of work. It's evolving. I have to say, you know, when we first started, it's as we keep saying, we're building the airplane up in the air as we're going. But I think we've kind of gotten a groove of it as to, you know, the beginning was a little clunky because we were all trying to wrap our brains around how we're going to make this happen. But I have to say part of what's making it work is that from the get-go, my teachers reached out to parents immediately. They made sure that parents had access to the technology. And that's one piece that I think has been exceptional about our district, that we've been able to make the technology accessible to our families. And that's what's allowed us to be able to do the distance learning. I go in and I'm able to visit every classroom, every Google Classroom. So I spend time in visiting, you know, different classrooms to see what they're doing. And I also get all the emails from the classes, so you can only imagine, from all 20 classrooms. And I actually like being able to see the comments that the kids are making. A lot of clarifying questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? And one of the things that become very apparent in seeing, you know, the dynamic with distance learning and how our kids are engaging with it is that our kids are becoming quite well versed with how to ask questions, how to ask clarifying questions, because they need to be able to understand. And it's neat to see how many parents will go into the counts and, you know, on behalf of their kids, Mrs., you know, so-and-so, can you tell us how to do this? So there's a lot of parent participation. And I think that has been key to being able to help us with doing distance learning, because there's a lot of parent support. It's been challenging because I'm not going to downplay this by any means. It's been challenging for our teachers, being able to wrap their brains of how they're going to do this. They have stretched themselves in ways that they thought they could never stretch themselves, but they're doing it. And then on my end, being able to support them, whatever they need, making myself accessible, meeting with them on a weekly basis, visiting the Google Classroom, seeing the student work, trying to, you know, shine a light on things that are going well. I have some teachers who are doing an exceptional job with the social emotional piece, who go on there every week and send out shout outs and good vibes and create the best learning environment possible that could be created within a Google Classroom. I have one of my kindergarten teachers who's really, you know, ripped off the Band-Aid of technology, as she says it, and she's created a virtual classroom with herself in it, and it's very interactive. So my kinder students are able to go in there and just, you know, click on things, and then the lessons come to life. And so it's like they've pushed themselves, and to some extent, even with the challenges that we've had with distance learning, I've seen so much growth. I've seen so much growth on behalf of our teachers.
So you took the opportunity and saw it. And you know, that's very indicative of a California distinguished school. These are schools that are marked for greatness. And I'm not saying that if you don't have that title or that you're not doing as much, but many teachers in the Rialto Unified School District who feel challenged used it as an opportunity to rise. The cream always rises to the top. Do you feel the same way with your teachers as well?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, hands down. They've done a great job. And I know that the last meeting that we had with my leadership team, one of my teachers, Mrs. Stamp, was asking, you know, I keep hearing about so-and-so class is doing this, and I keep hearing about so-and-so class that is doing that. It's like, we need to figure out a way that we are learning from each other. And so I love the fact that she's the one that put it out there, that she's the one who said, you know what, there are so many gifts and so much talent that we have within our staff that we need to start tapping into all of it. And I think that's very telling of the fact it isn't about what is it I cannot do, what is it that you teach me that I can do better so that I can do a better job with my kids.
Wonderful.
And I think it's that energy and that drive that my teachers have that is really, you know, again, they rise.
How wonderful. And this is the reason they rise. You also have
Absolutely.
great students like Kayla here. Now, Kayla, who is your mentor? Who do you look up to? Who's your role model?
I very much look up to my mom.
Your mom?
My mom, Karen Montano.
Oh.
And I also look up to my grandparents because they are pastors and they teach me a lot about who I can be in the future. And
What's your grandparents' names?
my grandma is Milagros Brand and my grandpa is Mario Brand.
Okay. And so what is like, if you could describe your mom, here, I'm putting you on the spot. I'm going to see how smart this Timberwolf is. If you can describe your mom in one word, what would it be?
Probably inspiring.
Wow. What a wonderful word. That's pretty powerful. You're going to make me tear up. What is your aspirations? I know from here, from 5th grade, being a trapped Timberwolf, you're going to be going on to middle school, right? Which middle school is that?
I'm going to be going to Casera Middle School.
Casera Middle School. Okay. You excited about that?
Yeah, but I'm also kind of nervous because I'm going to be in a new environment and I'm going to be around new people. So I'm kind of nervous about, like, oh, what if I forget what building I'm supposed to go to or what class I'm in.
And then you do know that when you go to Casera Middle School, you have an outstanding staff over there, many whom I know, and I know they're going to take very good care of you, because that's the concern of a lot of people. Where do I go? Where am I supposed to be? And it's a beautiful campus, so you're really going to be, you're going to enjoy. You're going to become a Timberwolf, and then you're going to be a Coyote, because that's what Casera is, the Casera Coyote. So how cool. You're all into the wolf
canine
pack.
family.
Exactly, exactly. And I know for a fact, Mrs. Gutierrez knows Mrs. Dominguez, who's a principal there, so you're in good hands.
Oh, well, she used to be her principal before me.
There you go. So you remember Mrs. Dominguez, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you are. So you're all in. You're completely in. And I'm going to ask you what you want to be when you grow up in just a second, but I do have a question for your principal, so sit still, don't go anywhere. Mrs. Gutierrez, obviously you talked a lot about how well you're doing with your staff at Trapp Elementary School. How about the home life of a principal? Let's share a little bit about that. I know you're laughing
Oh,
because
it's
you're
not
like,
glamorous as you would think.
you have boys, your husband, who I know is a colleague of all of ours. Tell me.
You know, wearing the principal hat, I have to say, it's a challenging job. First, before going into administration, you have your classroom, you're a classroom teacher, you have your 20, 30, babies, and they're your kids. And then when you step in the role of a principal, then that becomes your 500 kids, and they're your kids. And so you're constantly, just like a mom, you're constantly worried about them and how they're doing and whether their needs are being met. You also worried, about your school and your teachers and how you're supporting them, because I think that my goal is to be able to always provide my teachers the support needed so they can themselves thrive, so that they can do the things that are going to give us the best outcome for our students. And how do I support that? Because yes, I have a vision, but that doesn't happen if I don't have my teachers behind me supporting, what we're trying to accomplish. It's a full-time job, and I'm completely 100% committed to it. And so how do I balance that with balancing being a mom? And I know that I will have failed as a mother, as a human, if I don't do right by my boys, which, one is going into high school next year. And I keep telling everyone, because, with kids, you always have one that's more challenging than the other.
Right.
Well,
he tugs at your heart a little bit more.
Yeah, well, God got very creative with my two boys. I have one that is my teacher pleaser that, will do everything I say. I say jump, and he says how high. And then I have the other one that questions absolutely everything. Mm-hmm. And so I tell my husband, when my 13-year-old graduates from high school, I said, I'm going to go up there with him. I said, because I have earned with him that degree. Because it's very challenging. So
but I know Mr. Gutierrez, and he is, and of course, coordinator for EL, for our English language for the district. How good of put him on the spot, Mr. Gutierrez, how much does he help you?
You know what? He helps a lot. Yeah. I cannot do what I do with being a principal if I didn't have my husband's support. He really is absolutely 100%,
with you on this.
He's with me. He's my cheerleader. When he sees things are not going very well, He's there to motivate me when he sees that I'm down. He definitely gives me the words of encouragement that I need. He's been in my shoes before, and he knows that we have to find a balance, prioritize. Our jobs are important, but our families are important too. And we failed if we haven't done our job with our boys. And he's very much hands-on. So he takes care of my little one is my athletic one, and he plays all things sports. And so my husband's very hands-on. He's the one that takes him to practice. He's the one who does everything when it comes to that. So there's a good balance. We play with each other's strengths.
Right.
And I think the part that, keeps us afloat is that we have to be able to, find time for our family, for our kids, to make sure that, their things are also important and that we don't neglect that. So the job of the hat that I wear as a principal, the hat of a mom, the hat of a wife, it's not an easy one. But
it's rewarding.
But it's extremely rewarding, and I love what I do. I love being able to work with kids like Kayla, who are absolutely exceptional, and they inspire me. And to be able to work with exceptional educators, they inspire me. They fuel me. And so at the end of the day, it all kind of works out. Yes, it's exhausting, but in a good way, because it's so incredibly fulfilling.
Right.
So
wow, that's great. That's great. Let's come back to you, Kayla. So what does Kayla want to be when she graduates high school? Do you want to go to college? I'm hoping the answer is absolutely yes. But if not, what's your aspiration? What's your goal?
After I graduate college, I was hoping to attend Loma Linda University of Health so I can study to become a doctor.
Wonderful. My sister's a doctor. So what kind of doctor do you want to be?
I want to be a doctor for both adults and younger kids, and because I've always been like a really kind and caring person, and I always want to help people. Like, I'm always like, do you want anything? Do you need water? Are you okay? And I just always been like that.
You just want to be paid good for it, right? Yeah. So you genuinely care about people, and you want to help them, and you want to do good. And I applaud you for it, because that's a wonderful profession. It's such a noble profession. Did you think of that yourself, or was it somebody in the family that said, "Hey, you should get into the medical profession. You should be a doctor"?
No, I just really wanted to be a doctor myself.
Did you share this with your mom?
Yeah, I've always told my family, like, when I grow up, I'm gonna become a doctor. I'm gonna help everyone.
And what did they say?
They're like, you can do it. You can do anything you want.
Oh, that's what.
And I love how my family's always been really supportive.
So when you become Dr. Montano, and you're at Loma Linda University Hospital, and you graduate, and you are a doctor, is that what you're going to expect your mom and your grandparents to call you?
Not really, because
they won't.
Yeah, they probably won't. They probably won't take me seriously as Dr. Montano.
They won't take you. I bet you they will. And you're just going to save the world. And I just know that about you. Thank you so much for being on this show, Kayla. We loved having you. But one more question. What do you like to do in your spare time? We've talked so much about work and distance learning and your career. What do you like about what you have some free time right after distance learning? What do you do?
I like to play soccer.
But can you go out and play now with the pandemic, or you've been?
No, but I still like to go outside and like practice sometimes with my brother and sisters.
Oh, good. Get some now. Talk to me about your brothers and sisters. How old are they?
I have a younger brother. He is 9 years old, and he is in 3rd grade.
At Trap?
Yeah, he's actually in Miss Chovan's class.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah, and then I have.
What's his name?
His name's Raider.
Raider.
Yeah.
I love that name. Okay.
And then I have 2 older sisters. One just came into high school, and she goes to Carter.
Okay, and her name?
And her name is Kyla.
Kyla. Okay.
And then I have one more sister who just graduated high school last year, who goes to Valley College now, and her name's Callista.
Oh, wow. So 3 sisters and 1 brother.
2 sisters.
Oh, 2 sisters and 1 brother. And you. So that makes it 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So that's 4 of you in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun, but sometimes we can have our differences, and it's kind of crazy in our house.
It's crazy in everyone's house sometimes. Thank you so much, Kayla, for being on the show. And thank you, Principal Gutierrez. I'm going to let you have the last word.
Oh, boy.
Well, and that's a good thing. Students like Kayla, staff that you mentioned, with your teachers, with your support staff, with your parental community. If I was a person who just moved to Rialto, why would I want to go to Trapp Elementary School? Why would I want to enroll my child there?
As I mentioned, we have a great community within our school. Our teachers are wonderful. They're hardworking. They're committed. They have such drive and heart for our kids. And we have amazing kids and families that are so supportive. We have wonderful after-school clubs that we're able to provide kids with opportunities that in the elementary setting, you don't get to have after-school clubs. That comes later on in life when you go to middle school and high school, but not at Trapp. At Trapp, you get to be, in the Tinker Wolf Club, in the Running Club, in the Garden Club, in the STEAM pubs, in Drumline. And so we try to give opportunities for our kids that focus on the whole child. And so that is what makes our school great, is that we work on the whole child perspective, on their social emotional piece as well. So that is what makes Trapp a great school. But if I could just add a little bit before we say goodbye, because and I'm so glad that Kayla is a fifth grader. One of our great traditions at Trapp is our fifth grade promotion. We roll out the red carpet for our fifth graders. They always sing amazingly because Miss Humble is our choir director, and it's always a very special occasion. I mean, there's never a dry eye at the end of our ceremony, and this year we didn't get to do that. And I know for our parents that was hard. They were looking forward to it. So I just want to send a special shout out to our fifth graders to say that we're going to miss you greatly. You have been, most of our kids are there since kindergarten, so they've been with us, their entire childhood basically. And so not being able to give them a proper goodbye it's sad, it's hard.
It is.
So I just want to say we love you, we miss you, we wish we could have something special and huge, but just know that you're in our hearts, and every child that comes to our classrooms just leaves an imprint. And I have to say that this group, is no exception. We have an amazing group of fifth graders, and so I just want to wish them well. They're going to do great in middle school, and I just hope them and wish them all success in the world.
Thank you, and very well said. And I just want to add that it is all due to the health and safety. That is the most important thing for our students. So that's one of the reasons, and you know this already. And you know what, Kayla, I usually look at the camera, and I usually say thank you for joining us on RUSD Bridge, but I'm going to let you do it. So why don't you look into the camera up front? I think you could do it. Is there a camera right there for her? There's a camera right there. So I want you to end our show, because I know you were selected as a speaker, so I'm going to let you speak. So just tell them who you are, what grade you are, and just tell us to join us next time on RUSD Bridge. Right there.
My name is Kyla Montano. I am in 5th grade, and thank you for joining, and join us next time on RUSD Bridge.